Alright, this is a video for a Honda Legend 3.5 V6. Car you're seeing here has covered 77,000 miles. It's been very well maintained from new. It's in absolutely beautiful condition. It's black with a full black leather interior. The car also benefits from having the auto cruise control and the collision mitigation system fitted to the car. I'm just going to go down the flank so you can see just how crisp the car is. There is a small amount of curbing, you can see just on the outside of the front alloy there. Down the side of the car, it's very clean indeed. The rear alloy on the side is pretty much untouched there. Then the wing is clean. Back bumper with parking sensors built in, which are colour coded. You can't see those hardly at all. Again, not really a mark on there. Coming to the near side of the car. Let's go down the flank for you. Again, very clean and crisp. Rear alloy wheel here. Again, pretty much unmarked. Just a tiny curb mark on the right hand side of the alloy I can see. And to the front of the car here. Front alloy, again, it's pretty much unmarked. Driven the car myself, drives absolutely beautifully. I've had 2 or 3 of these cars. Wonderful machines to drive. This is as good as you'll ever see. Right, coming into the boot area of the car, it looks pretty much like brand new in the back of here. There's literally no marks at all that I can see. Carpet's in fantastic condition. All the trim's really good. Plastic on the way in is pretty much unmarked there as well. I'll lift this up, just show you your spare wheel and your tools in there as well, but it's pretty much unmarked there. So in the back of the car here, you can see you've got the genuine Honda Legend overmats in the car there. The leatherwork is in absolutely superb condition, it really is. It really just does not look like anyone sat in the back of this car. Door card on the side over there, completely unmarked. Back of the seats are all really good condition. And this one here again, pretty much unmarked on there. So on the driver's side door now, again, wood insert there. Very little signs of any wear at all. See the mat there, little kick plate coming in top condition. Electric seat adjusters, leather driver's seat there. Belies any miles really. There's no marks on any of the bolsters or otherwise. In the middle here, stowage area again, absolutely clean as a whistle. In the passenger seat there, just does not look like anyone's really sat at all. So we're inside the car now, engine's running. Wonderful dashboard design, very clean, very crisp, absolutely beautifully built. It really is, a bit like tanks, these things. Very simple, easy to use. Centre stack there, an automatic gearbox selector. Sat nav screen is all fully functional. Put it into reverse and you've got a crystal clear rear parking camera as well. Panning across to the steering wheel. It's got 77,588 miles currently recorded on the car. No warning lights on the vehicle whatsoever. Engine's running as we speak. Controls for your cruise control. As I said, this is the auto cruise control, so you've got your collision mitigation system and radar system. Hands-free telephone and voice activation for other functions as well. Up above us we have the sunroof, so you've got tilt, easy and closed, and then slide to open. And in the back of the car, you've got your rear blind there, which you can open and shut, if you so wish. So under the bonnet here, got a Honda VTEC engine, 3 litre V6. Absolutely fantastic engines, incredibly reliable, hugely long lasting. and pushing out nearly 300 horsepower. It's a beast of an engine, just so smooth, really deceptive how quick these things can go, and if you drive with even remotely light right foot, it's just surprising at how good it can be. This powers through a four-wheel drive chassis with what's referred to by Honda as super handling all-wheel drive, or SHAWD. It just makes the car incredibly sure-footed. And as I said, I've driven BMW, Mercedes rear-wheel drives in slightly greasy conditions, and this is a different league. It's incredibly clever technology, utterly reliable, and puts those cars to shame. Right, this is a road test video for a Honda Legend. This is the 3.5 V6 RA57XAM. Started the road test. The vehicle's done 77,613 miles. This is around about sort of 10-mile road test, just to show that the car drives exactly as it should, and there's no issues with the vehicle. This video obviously complements the walk around video that I've done previously on the car, so those who have seen that will know the specification of the vehicle. Just to say, obviously this is, it's a very, very high spec car, but this one's also equipped with this lovely feature, the automatic cruise control with the radar, which controls the distance to and from the car in front, and also got lane mitigation as well. So, but it drives beautifully. I mean, it's I was selling Legends new when I was at Honda, and I genuinely can't feel the difference between this one and any of the new ones I drove. Everything about the car is incredibly tight. Suspension's got no play in it at all. There's no noises from the suspension at all. The brakes are incredibly solid. Everything you touch works absolutely beautifully. The engine is just brilliant. It's a really powerful engine, very sweet and docile around town. Put your foot down and go, and it's incredibly solid. It just pulls so sweetly and so strong all through the rev range, and really, as it approaches the red line, just digs deep and goes. I'll just put it in a second, hold on. The car, obviously, one of its main features, or certainly one of the main positives of the car, is the four-wheel drive system, which I'm not going to even begin to try and explain, but it's referred to as super handling all-wheel drive, and it is brilliant. Of course, most people will never experience it or what it's capable of, or not even realise they're doing it, because when you exit a junction on a sort of an icy morning or a damp road with 300 odd horsepower, put your foot down, do that in a BMW or a Mercedes, you'll either get loads of traction control chattering away as it's trying to control wheel spin in a rear wheel drive car, or you'll be pirouetting off the road. This one just grips and goes. It is an astonishing system. I think what I've noticed most about the car is when driven in comparison to the Lexus GS Hybrid that I had, which was a really lovely car. That was very much more a pure luxury car, in the sense that it kind of glided along, which was very nice. It kind of served its purpose. But what it misses out on, which the Legend definitely has, this has got a much more agile chassis to the car, especially along sort of A and B roads. The Lexus would kind of lose its composure a bit, but the Legend is a much more capable car in those situations, and as I said, combined with the four-wheel drive, it's just really confidence inspiring. The offset is it has a slightly firmer ride than the Lexus, but I like that. I don't like too pillowy rides.
but it's just as quiet. It's a really, really quiet car on the road. On the motorway, it just covers enormous distances absolutely effortlessly. I mean, that really is helped by the cruise control system. You know, quite often you set them on British roads and there's so much traffic, you're on and off the cruise control the whole time, whereas this one, it just maintains the gap to the car in front, and hopefully I'll have a chance in the road test to show that working. It's also got heated and cooled leather seats. The interior, as the other video shows, is in unbelievably good condition. It just doesn't exhibit any wear at all. There's no buttons with paint missing, or and certainly compared to I currently drive a Lexus RX, which has done fewer miles than this and is slightly newer. I'd have to say the Legend is definitely a better built car, which will shock a few, but it's certainly this example, and we've sold a few. They're built incredibly well. But in essence, if you're coming to drive this car, you won't find anything wrong with the drive of the car whatsoever. I simply cannot fault it. And if I could find anywhere, I could find anything to report, I will do that. But there was nothing here whatsoever. On the gearboxes on these Legends, you've also got the option to change manually if you so wish. No one ever really does, but you've just put the gear lever to the right hand side. It's now selected me 4th gear. I can just pull the tab on the steering wheel here like a Formula 1 paddle, just change up and down the gears. It is quite nice for overtaking if you're on a country lane or something, so you can hold the car in gear, you know, to save the engine suddenly changing up halfway around an overtaking manoeuvre. And say on my sort of regular trips over to Cambridge, it's a section of road where you've got to commit to overtake, and it's very good for that. But the engine is so torquey and so happy to rev out that you know, you can fly by cars very safely. But if you're going to overtake or have to overtake for any reason, braking wise, the brakes are incredibly solid, very powerful. There's no rumbles or shudders on the braking whatsoever. As with the rest of the car, it's you know, it's as good as I've experienced on a new one. What I love on the Legends is, you know, it's a really genuinely comfortable driving position, brilliantly comfortable driving seat. The position of the steering wheel in relation to the seat and the height of it is absolutely spot on. Loads of headroom, but it's a nicely done dashboard. It's not over the top. It's very simple to operate, very easy to master. Those kind of silly iDrive things which I hate. So when you can sort of change your radio settings, you can change your air conditioning settings without having to scroll through sort of a million different sub menus. Hopefully what I'm going to do now is get a chance to do a bit of driving on the motorway, just to show how the automatic cruise control works. And also it's got this lane departure system as well, so you can press a button on the steering wheel and it warns you if you're starting to wander off, if you're nodding off asleep or lose concentration for a second. It warns you that you're potentially going to be going into some other lane, which you really don't want to be doing. Thank you would be nice, but there we go. Oh, hang on, there we go. Brilliant. All caught on camera, lovely. Right, so basically to activate the cruise control, just press the main button there, and then I'm going to set the speed when I join the motorway traffic. So I'm going to pull into the middle lane. Everyone's going a fraction slow. So I'm just going to set the cruise control now, and I've set it to 50 miles an hour, which is the limited speed here, but my speedo is actually reading less than that because it's sensing the car in front. If the car speeds up, I'll speed up with it up to the speed I've set. If it slows down, then it'll slow down as well. It's a brilliantly easy system to operate, and it just takes a lot of the stress out of gaps opening and diminishing the whole time. And you can also set the gap to the car in front, how close you want it to go, by pressing this button here. So I want to go a bit closer, the little screen's telling me how close I can follow the car in front. Button here, and that's my lane departure system, so it just gives me a warning if I'm starting to stray from one lane to another. But all in all, cannot fault the car. So if you're driving, if you're local, that's fine. If you're driving hundreds of miles to come and see the car, you'll be absolutely chuffed to bits of the vehicle. It drives absolutely beautifully.